Excavation Profits Podcast by Excavation Marketing Pros. Interviews with successful excavation and septic business owners, revealing how they market and grow their business in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your business and discover what they're doing to keep their phone ringing, equipment running, and businesses booming. Now your host, Scott Andreessen.
Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're well. So this video is going to be a little different than most of the ones I put together. In this case, we have a client that is doing really well, crushing it with their ads, but the monetization from those leads is not there. And the reason being is because the offer itself is not profitable enough to sustain premium marketing. In other words, the margins need to be higher on each job sold. So I'm going through a framework in the upcoming call with the client to show you what good, better, best packaging looks like and how you can use that to increase your profit margins on your jobs that you do, okay? So in this example, it's gonna be a septic install. And I want you to keep in mind that, getting more web traffic, getting more leads, a lot of contractor business owners think that's gonna fix all their problems. All that does is just amplify the problems you already have. So if it's a weak offer and margins are low, doing more of that is usually not gonna be helped with premium marketing, okay? So I hope you find this video helpful. Hopefully you get some good tips and tricks out of this to use for your own offer, for your septic or excavation services. So then when it is time to market and ramp up traffic, and bring in more jobs, you have a solid offer where you're making more money on each job sold. All right, thanks. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. Is it all right if I record this and we can use it in our materials and stuff like that?
Definitely.
I appreciate it. Okay, so let's walk through the first part, which is your client avatar. I want to explain that.
Okay.
So you have, from our research, 2 avatars, and that is going to be those price-sensitive people in certain counties.
Okay.
But then you have some areas that are not so price-sensitive.
Okay.
And the price-sensitive ones would be like Grimes, Austin, Waller, and Brazoria, and Lee, from what we found.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
You're missing the main one is Montgomery.
Okay, and Montgomery.
Yeah, those guys are.
Okay. And so really for that type of an audience, you're not going to change them. And so you have 2 separate proposals. One is going to be for the price sensitive people, but the other one is going to be for the non-price sensitive people. And you don't want to intermingle the 2 different proposals. In other words, we're going to get into your packages, but those good, better, best style packages to raise your profit margins, that's not going to be even introduced to these people right here.
Okay.
They won't. Okay. And so we put this together for you. These people are really optimized for lowest price, cash jobs. They will work with pickup installers, chuck in a truck, like you said. We're not going to change that. So there's no sense in trying to. Now, your next avatar is the people that are not going to be so price sensitive in suburban expansion zones, HOA developments, custom home builders, and so on. Now, Harris, you said Montgomery. Montgomery, does that have sections of non-price sensitive in it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a little tricky. But internally, we'll just do something like that. So internally.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so that type of crowd, they want it done right. They want all the inspections to pass. They want timeline certainty. They don't want to be doing any callbacks. They value quality, and they're willing to pay extra for that. It doesn't just come down to, are these guys the cheapest price or not, which is your other crowd.
Correct.
So are we clear on this, that you have two separate avatars?
Yeah, 100%.
Once you identify the one, you know you're if they're the higher price crowd, it's a good, better, best to raise those profit margins. And if it's the lower tier client, then they're just going to get the basic septic offer.
Okay.
All right. So for the non-price sensitive, I've included a sales script and then a branded PDF that you can use. And before we get into this, let's go over a little bit on the packages, perhaps, would be a good place to go from here. So let me pull that up. Now this you can edit. Have you ever worked with a Google Doc?
Melanie has. They're the real computer geniuses around here. I'm not.
Okay, so this is a Google Workspace account. It can also be used with a regular free Gmail, but
Okay.
you have edit access to this, and you or her or anyone can just go here and download it as a Word doc and
Okay.
edit it in Microsoft Word, or she can edit it right here in real time.
Okay.
And so for our non-price sensitive clients, they're given a good, better, best.
Okay.
And psychologically, this does a couple things. Is it eliminates the yes or no from the sales equation and turns it into A, B, or C. We have eliminated the yes or no to a good, better, best.
Okay.
And so this framework should help you close more sales, and it should also give you a higher profit margin, higher blended profit margin. And what I mean by that is not everyone is going to choose better. You're still going to get some goods. But if out of 10 sales, 1 or 2 choose better, or 3, you're already starting to increase that profit margin by default. And if
Okay.
you get one best, then you're really doing well. So visually, this is how we recommend you keep this.
Okay.
So you kind of highlight the better in the middle and make it the obvious choice. And your good is going to be your lowest price one. Better is going to be something around like this, about $4,000 more. And then best is going to be about $16,000 to $18,000. These numbers I'm just taking from our conversation the other day, but the whole point is to stack value with each thing. And you can just kind of leave this as is if you like. So
Okay.
scope, right? Scope protection, basic scope, lock scope before digging. You might want to add in something here or take it away. But do you see how positioning your offer like this can be a little more effective?
Yes.
Okay. So when you are selling this on the phone, or even if you're face to face, you're going to have this, and it's a nice clean format that as you're talking to them on the phone, you know, they can be pulling this up on the computer with you on Zoom, just like we are. You can walk them through it, or face to face. You know, you can go over it with them. You have a good, better, best with us. And here's the benefits of, and you always want to recommend the better. That's always the one you're going to go with. So They can downgrade themselves or they can upgrade themselves. But you and your team is always going to focus on the better. Now, let's go into a sales process. So we got, thanks for calling Brown Aerobic, or however you say your name when you answer the phone. This is Rashad or whoever. Are you calling about a new install or replacement? Of course, you can tweak this. You might want to have a little bit opener, but you want to take control of the call as soon as they call in.
Sure.
Because they call you for other stuff too, right? Pumping and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it might go something. Are you calling about pumping, a new install, or a replacement? Again, this is all editable by you. You can edit this. Before we talk numbers, I want to make sure we point you in the right direction. Is this for a new or an existing home? Has the county already been involved yet? Is there any timeline pressure as far as inspections, move-in, or a permit deadline? They may give you something like that. Here's where you want to start positioning yourself as a value provider, not a commodity, as an expert, especially for these areas that you know they're not going to be as price sensitive. So in this case, I want to be clear and upfront, we're not the cheapest installer or the cheapest septic repair company in the area. We specialize in installations that passed inspection the first time without surprise change orders or delay. Most of our customers come to us after seeing what happens when a cheaper install goes sideways. And then our no-fail septic install, you want to name the service of what you do rather than just say your septic install. We're going to give you a septic install. You want to name it so you're no longer a commodity. You have something special and unique. And part of that is the name. So this is a name that I would recommend you use.
Sure.
Our no-fail septic installs is designed so that the system is built to county specs from day one. The scope is locked before we dig. And if it doesn't pass inspection the first time, we fix it at no labor cost. And then just teach them, be silent, let that land. Now, because of that, we usually come in higher than the guys competing on price alone. This is important that you vocally say this and let them know it's coming. Because of that, we usually come in higher than the guys competing on price alone. The reason is simple. Fixing a failed inspection usually costs more than the difference. Does that make sense so far?
Yes. Yes.
You want to train your salespeople, whoever is saying this, some little objections like, we use better materials, we have more experience. That really doesn't hold any weight with buyers. Instead, you can say, that makes sense. Most of our customers saw lower prices first. Quick question, if the cheaper install fails inspection, who pays for that though? So if they're price shopping you, you can say something like this. Another company said they can do it cheaper. I believe it. there's a lot of installers in this area. The real question is, are they guaranteeing it passes inspection the first time? Let them answer. I don't know. Well, that's the difference. We build it assuming the inspector is looking over our shoulder. So it's more of an authoritative approach way of selling the system. If they do say something to the effect of, I'm just looking for something very basic, totally fair. If this were rural and unregulated, basic might be fine. But once the county is involved, basic is usually where the problems start. Would you rather save a little up front or make sure this is the last time you deal with this? So you have more sales rebuttals here. I don't think we need to go through them all. You can read through this. Your sales team can read through this. But some of the main things I want to get across here is, one, the disqualification is important. If it's price shoppers only and they're not in that low income demographic, they're in one of your higher income, non-price sensitive markets, you could say something like, if your main goal is lowest price up front, we're probably not the best fit. And that may sound like you're pushing them away, but that can actually have the adverse reaction where they say to themselves, well, I do want it done right. I mean, I don't just care about price. If they just care about price, you have the option to sell them the other basic package, which I'll show you. Now, before I go any further, what questions or concerns do you have?
So is all of this happening over the phone, or is this actually in person? This whole script and selling?
Either way.
Okay.
You could do it both ways.
Okay.
But some internal sales rules, however you handle it, in face-to-face or over the phone or on Zoom, is fine. Never race to the bottom on price. Never apologize for being higher priced. Always sell against failure, not competitors. And a guarantee is actually much greater power than giving a discount. So another thing that I want to point out, if we go to our packages, is you or your team should never offer discounts on these. Your price is your price. So if it's too much for them at $13,500, the answer is not, well, I tell you what if I knock off $1,000? That's not the answer. The answer is, no problem. I can still help you with our basic, with our good septic system install. And you'd be looking at that range. But you lose authority, you lose positioning if you start discounting prices.
Okay.
All right. So this is, again, editable, but this is like shifting you away from being the commodity of we do septic installs like everyone else. Just compare us based on our price. You have a specific productized service called the no-fail septic install. And you can hand this off to them. You've got the no-fail inspection guarantee. If your septic system does not pass the initial county inspection due to workmanship or installation-related issues, we will correct the issue at no additional labor costs, subject to normal use and approved design conditions. This offer is not the cheapest option. It's designed for homeowners who want certainty, compliance, and a one-time install done right.
Okay.
This says to your buyer that is not, just wanting the chuck in a truck, that these people are serious, they're going to do what they say they're going to do. Let's go over the price sensitive proposal. Okay, so for these people, they get a code compliant basic install, which, by the way, this is a proposal. I don't think I went over the actual proposals. You have two proposals. Since we were on the packages, let's do the packages one first, actually. This right here would be an example of a proposal that you send out. How do you currently send out proposals?
It's through House Call Pro.
Does it basically look like an invoice, or?
We send out two things. We send out an estimate, and then we send out a installation contract spelling out all of our responsibilities and what we're going to do, as well as the homeowner's responsibilities and what they're supposed to do, along with some options of additional services like hauling off extra dirt or installing grass or something like that.
Okay. What I would, without seeing it, I mean, I can't comment, but what I would say is helpful is to keep it as simple as possible on the client.
Okay.
And not give them too much information, because that can also kill sales.
Okay.
And so if you go out there, you carry yourself well, or you carry yourself well on the phone, and you explain things, you can just give them a very simple proposal.
Okay.
And so this one is the intro section. First telling them why the proposal is different. So this proposal is like designed to sell, right? It's not just, here's our price, here's the facts on what we do. This proposal is designed to help persuade. Most septic installations are sold as equipment and labor. Ours is sold as certainty. This proposal is designed for homeowners who want the system done right the first time, no inspection issues, no surprise costs, no repeat headaches. We specialize in inspection-ready septic installations built to pass county requirements the first time. Then you're going over the problem you solve, improper system design, missed county requirements. You're giving them the offer, which is, again, the no-fail septic install. You're clearly defining the scope of work, which maybe you want to, put some of your own bullet points in there, of course. You're offering the guarantee. Some conditions on the guarantee, just put in plain English. What this is not: lowest price shopping, temporary or short-term solutions, installations where inspection compliance is not a priority. This is saying to your client what?
We're different.
We're different, but how? How are we different?
It's just not based on price.
Yeah, and what else?
We're bringing value to the table.
We bring value to the table. We bring so much value to the table that I'm telling you that we don't need your business. We want your business, but we don't need your business. We are not for lowest price shopping. We're not for temporary short-term solutions. We're not out to help those where inspection is not an issue.
Okay.
So we're giving you the highest valuable premium level of service in the industry. That's what we do.
Okay.
Total investment is where you put your price. Acceptance. Now, the cool thing about this is, I don't know how House Call Pro does it, but with Google Docs, like you can have something like this very simple, and then you can do insert e-signature field and add a signer. See, now that's a signature field that they can actually sign. And again, with the date, you can add date. And then you request e-signature, and you just put in the person's email, and you can type them a message, and then they can DocuSign this.
Okay.
So it's a very low friction way to do it. So that's this proposal. The basic proposal for the price sensitive markets looks like this. Who this proposal is for, we're telling them the basics of what they would want. Code compliant septic system, okay, hopefully that holds some weight with them. The lowest upfront cost, a straightforward installation without added protections. This option meets minimum regulatory requirements, but does not include premium guarantees or priority services. This installation will meet applicable minimum code requirements, provide a functional system, be installed by a licensed insured contractor. Again, you're going to go over scope of work. Give them the price. They're just getting the bare bones.
Okay.
Now, when you go to send these off, here's some suggested text message templates and email templates to send along, as well as like when to send them. So here's email 1. And then if you haven't heard anything back, 48 hours, you can send this one.
Okay.
So on my end, that's pretty much what I would recommend in your shoes to raise prices, to raise profits, is by doing this, you're going to create, because of the options, you're going to force some better packages. And those who accept the better package, the one in the middle, is going to by default raise your profit margins.
Okay.
Was any of this helpful?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
What questions or concerns do you have for me?
So I've been looking at some YouTube stuff on sales. One guy I was listening to, he was saying that he made his team stop emailing quotes. They have to physically meet the customer and give quotes in person, instead of just shoot out an estimate and hope for the best. So I'm wanting to incorporate that between myself and one of the techs I have. She's really good, great attitude. She's always got a smile on her face. She's bilingual. Mm-hmm. I'd like to use her to go meet with customers whenever we get a septic design and try to close them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that. I also think that you can sell them over the phone.
Okay.
And by Zoom. And what I would recommend is when you go out the first time, they call in, they go out, then someone goes out for a site visit, right?
Correct.
Okay. At that moment, I would schedule the review call. So we're going to do our due diligence. You know, do you do the soil test and everything before you get back to them?
Yeah. So usually with me, as part of my pre-qualification, we don't actually go see the customer until the septic engineers went out there first and he's done a septic design. So once we have that septic design, then that's when me or Teresa will go out, meet with the customer. So that way we're looking at the design with the customer. We're able to mark out where the sprinklers are going, where the tank is going, walking them through the details. I used to in the past, I would go out before a septic design was completed. And a lot of times I got bit because I'm not a septic engineer. So I'm guessing and assuming, oh yeah, we can put the spray field right here. We can do this. And then it ends up being a drip system, because I didn't realize there were some neighboring water wells, when I did my site evaluation, whatever. So I kind of stay in my lane. And when I go out to meet a customer, I prefer that they have a septic design already. Either they bought one on their own from another engineer, or they've already met with my engineer and they've got the design.
Okay. Well, what I would recommend is that when you do finally send out your proposal with the price, that is not out of the blue. That before you send it out, set the expectation of we're going to have a meeting and go over it together. This way you can go over the package A, B, and C. Like you don't want to send it out and then be in a position where you need to chase them.
Right.
The ideal situation and how I would handle it is that it's ready and email them or text them. As we said, your review call is going to be Wednesday at 2:00. I've gotten your proposal ready with your different options, with several options for you to choose from. And we're going to go over that together on the phone or on Zoom or in person.
Okay.
This way you have a fighting chance to handle all objections or rebuttals just there. And so it can be, here's your good, better, best. Most of our clients go with the better option because, and you could even add in something extra, like the better option actually comes with a 1 year of maintenance at no additional charge. Plus, we give you VIP skip the line customer service that if there's any issues, we're going to go to you first. That's with the better option.
Okay.
What else?
So, all right, let's say I meet with the customer, present the options, and they, husband and wife, preferably they're both there at the same time, the decision makers. And if they do not want to make a decision on the spot, I respect that. Then I start the follow-up process. Is that when we go into the SMS or email follow-ups? So I know you say you need 5 touches for follow-up.
Let's go over it real quick. So this here is a little different than what I told you. This is sending it out first and then you follow up. This is a less aggressive sales approach. What I would recommend is a little bit different of what you and I just discussed, where it's a planned meeting and you'll go over it together.
Okay.
So it would go something more like this. If we say this is from Brown, I just sent over, instead of I just sent over, it's we have prepared your septic installation options. And so in our upcoming meeting, I can explain the benefits of each to help you make the best decision for you.
Okay.
Based on your needs. I would pre-frame it that we like to have all decision makers on the call. Is your husband going to be there at that time as well? Oh, he's not. Okay, well, that's how we operate, is that all decision makers do need to be at the meeting or at the call. When would be a good time to set that up? It's totally within reason to make that as this is our standard operating procedure, that all decision makers are on the call. Or that when we show up, that all decision makers are there. So when would be a good time to do that?
Yeah.
If you don't sell it, or if you, after you send it over, if you don't make the sale on the spot, you could follow up with something like this. I would change up email 1, actually, to go with what we were saying of I've prepared your options and I'm going to go over them with you on the review call.
Okay.
I will go over all 3 options on the call to install your septic system. The difference is how much risk and inspection uncertainty we remove. For projects involving county inspections or timelines, most homeowners choose the no-fail. I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so that all looks good. Just a slight little tweak there. Instead of just sending out the proposal and chasing. It's I'm going to get this together. Let's set a follow-up meeting for Wednesday at 2 p.m. We do ask that all decision makers will be there. Will you and your husband both be there, be available at that time? No, we won't. Okay, well, that's how we operate, since both of you would be making this decision as a team. When would be a good time to schedule that call when you can both be available? That way you eliminate that objection. I need to talk to my spouse.
Yeah. Yeah, all the time, John.
Yeah. I don't want to go into anything too aggressive in closing, right? I mean, there's different ways to close. There's different styles of closing. There's, one call closing in person or over the phone. But the package options that you have are solid. It's non-confrontational. Let's set up a review call. When we have your options available, we're going to set up a review call together. And I'm going to show you the different options that you have, and we can help you make the best decision based on your needs.
Yeah.
The difference between these packages is how much risk and inspection uncertainty we remove. We can go from some risk to virtually no risk at all for the life of the system. Okay, so we just need to kind of figure out where you want to be in that spectrum. Okay, what else?
That all sounds pretty good. I think we kind of touched on it last time. I've always wanted to get somebody in-house, working our existing database. I have like 5,000 customers in my CRM, and 600 of those are active maintenance contract customers. So they're on service agreements. So I got over 4,000 that are not. And I would like to have someone either in the office or remote, whatever, in Canada, like you were saying, calling these people, roughly 100 phone calls a day, 100 text messages a day, and just trying to reactivate more service contracts. I need to, according to my business coach, I only have 600 active. He said that he wants to see us as a goal at the end of this year at 1,200 actives. So basically, he wants to double the service agreements because it's going to bring in more recurring revenue to help with the issues.
How big was the total list size again?
He wants 1,200.
But your list of customers, how big is it?
5,000.
And how old is the list from start to now?
Probably, this is probably at least 10 years, 10 to 15 years worth of customers.
Okay. How many of those would you say would be in the past 3 years?
Probably maybe 1,500, maybe.
Okay. So with doing the calls, there's no issue there really with getting a dialer and going through that list. text messaging is going to be the most effective way to reach out to them. The challenge with that is the A to P 10 DLC compliance, which unless they, well, they are pre-existing clients, but it can get a little tricky with the opt-in, opt-out. And so you have to be careful that if you're sending bulk text messages like that, that you don't get your business banned from texting.
Okay.
So we have your business approved for texting right now, and it will send bulk messages, and we have a solution to do that. The tricky part is that the opt-out rate, if it goes too high, you got to stop sending the messages.
Okay.
But that is effective. And we have done that with other clients, and it does generate revenue. We have a messaging sequence that we send out that seems to work really well. But just know the risks involved, that if there's too many spam complaints or opt-outs, it could be that, okay, you know, Brown can no longer send text messages, and T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, and all that will just ban you from texting.
Okay. Well, even if it's not the text messages, maybe if it's just the old school, someone picking up the phone and calling, to try to get, number one, an additional 50 contracts a month. And this, and not just from this list being the Hail Mary, you know, just say, because I know with all the other LSA and advertising that we're doing, marketing, we are still picking up new organic service agreements as well from that. So even if I don't get 50 a month just off this list, if it's just 25 a month from this list and then 25 a month from other sources, that'll give me my 50 a month that I need in order to get my 600 new reactivated contracts by the end of the year, give or take. So that'll put me, it may not be exactly 1,200 at the end of the year, but it'll be in the ballpark. And also with this inside person dialing every day, you know, we'll get pumping calls, you know, even if they just call and just say, hey, we're just following up, see if there's anything that you need. We've serviced you in the past. Do you know anyone that needs any service? And they might just say, yeah, I need service. We ain't had our tanks pumped, you know, in 3 years, you know.
Yeah.
I just want someone on the inside. Melanie doesn't have time to do this. Arizmi doesn't have time. I don't have the time. I need someone dedicated to just pick up the phone every day and just work in this list.
Yeah. So one way to do it, like I can give you a script that we use, and the text messaging, I mean, there is a risk, but it might be worth trying it. But basically, as far as a phone script, you don't know if they still live at that property or not. And so the very first step is, you know, hey, this is so-and-so with Brown Aerobic, septic specialist. Thanks for being a client. We're updating our routes and our system warranty info on file. Are you still the property owner at blah, blah, blah? And if they say no, then that's it. The call is over. And unless you want to follow up and say, oh, okay, well, do you have a septic system at your new property? How can we help? If they say, yeah, how can we support you with that? Now, if they say yes, we are still at that location. That's when you make the offer.
Okay.
So you've already confirmed that they're still at that address and they're already a client. So then the next offer is, okay, great. Hey, one more thing. We're doing a returning customer tune-up special this week in your area. You want your septic system checked before spring hits or before winter hits or whatever?
Yeah, I like that.
That's all you need is that one little question. One more thing. Thanks for confirming. One more thing. We're doing a returning customer tune-up special this week in your area. You want your septic system checked before spring hits? Before summer hits? Before winter hits? You just change out the season. That one campaign for one of our clients netted them $31,000 worth of repeat customer business just from that text messaging campaign. And
Wow.
once and the replies back are very simple. Yes, I would. Sure. Yep, I need service. They respond back like that with text message.
Okay.
Now the same thing would go for the phone. They would, like, whatever that we're seeing back by text message, they would literally say the same thing by phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I want to incorporate because I've never done that. We've always just focused on getting the phone to ring, people calling us. I've never focused on someone outbounding every day to our database, whether to get new business or even a happy call. Hey, we want to follow up. We've serviced your system last week or a few days ago. We just want to make sure everything's going good and that you're happy with the service. If so, would you please give us a 5-star review, or can you refer us to a neighbor or a friend or family member that may need septic service?
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
Okay. So I just want someone in the office or remote just doing that on a consistent basis.
But I would do it in 2 steps. We just came out to service you, which would you mind giving us your feedback on Google? And they say yes. The only thing that with that, if they're on the phone, that's a bit of a tricky transition to how do you at that moment get them over to Google? Just say, I'm going to text you the link to our Google profile.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I also have an account set up with a company called Refer Pros. And with Refer Pros, we're able to send out a link for them to refer another friend, family member, whoever. And if that referral actually buys from us, that person that made that referral, they'll get a gift card of their choice to purchase, whatever they want to do. And it's all through Refer Pros. I pay them like a monthly fee. They take care of all of the back end stuff, so I don't have to worry about trying to go buy gift cards and mail out gift cards myself. Refer Pros will send them the gift card either physically or by email, a virtual card for them to go buy whatever they want to buy. And for homeowners, I think I've only got maybe a couple of homeowners that actually have done it, but it's worked really well with other plumbers. Because a lot of times the plumbers, I went to them. I think I'm giving too many of my secrets from my competitors, but that's all good. So with the plumbers, a lot of them, they don't do septic. But of course, when the toilets don't flush, first person they call naturally is the plumber. And so the plumber's like, oh, well, you got a septic, so get on Google, find a septic guy. I was like, well, instead of just throwing that customer in the trash, refer that customer to me through my Refer Pro account, and then you can get a gift card for that referral. So you're getting at least some type of return for that lead that you paid for, because plumbing leads are way more expensive than septic leads.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've gotten about 5 plumbers that have locked in to that system, and they have consistently sent me business through Refer Pros.
Nice. I like that. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I can send you over the texting script, which you can make as a phone script. And I think we can talk about, if you want to proceed with doing some texting to that list.
Okay.
It looks like, to me, from what I'm seeing, we're starting to get to a point of predictability with leads coming in, that you're not going to have a marketing problem. I think that converting more sales from the marketing through a better offer is going to help you out. And if you can raise the margins a little bit with a few better packages, that's what I see as, for you, a long-term success, in my opinion, as critical.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Okay. On this inside salesperson, how should they get paid? Hourly, straight commission, a small base plus commission?
You get what you pay for. If you can work them out a small base plus commission, I think that would be good.
Okay.
And for you specifically, you're going to want bilingual, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Canada might be a little tricky. I don't know how common it's going to be to get someone from Canada who also speaks Spanish.
Right.
But where you could go would be like a site like Upwork.com.
Sure.
And you can specifically target Mexico, Colombia, I would stick with those. Those two should be sufficient. You could also maybe do where my wife has a good friend from there, and it's on the tip of my tongue. Starts with a V. Starts with a V. Venezuela. Thank you. Yeah. There's also good talent there. And so those 3 countries is where I would recommend. You'll be able to find people with a light accent, which is fine. And because they're bilingual, that would work perfectly for your service area. And as far as fees and rates, you're going to pay, you're not going to pay any taxes on, because they're not U.S. employees.
Okay.
And as far as an hourly rate, I think you'd be in the range of somewhere to like $3 an hour to $5 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm paying the guys in the Philippines right now. They're like $3 or $4 an hour.
Yeah.
Then they're good on the back end. They've taken a lot of stuff off of the in-house office here. Their plates have lightened up a lot with all the data entry and compliance crap that we have to do.
Mm.
It's just, and even working working the dashboard for excavation marketing, on the back end, they're moving stuff around. It's just, we can't put them on the phone. Their English is just not where it needs to be.
Yeah, it'll be dead on arrival.
Yeah.
So yeah, try that. The Upwork and those 3 Latin countries. That's where I would go. And they have specific categories for appointment setter, cold caller. I would go after someone with cold call experience. And because you have an inbound or an actual client list, I mean, that will be like a breath of fresh air for them. That, they'll be calling all warm leads. As far as your business coach is concerned, like, is he giving you kind of similar information regarding like your sales and profit margins, or how does that work?
Yeah. Yeah, he basically said it. A lot of the same things you're saying, that I'm racing to the bottom with these prices. It's not enough margin. What's helping is it's blended margin, because I'm getting a really high margin on the repairs, like 60 to 70% on repairs. But I'm getting I'm getting a mid on pumping, which is about 45% sometimes. But it's the installs were like 30%. I mean,
okay.
So it's blended.
I mean, so that's if I'm in your shoes, then you're getting a couple inputs, which is helpful.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. At one point, once he saw the margins were so thin on installs, he was just like, man, he's like, you need to just say the hell with these installs and just stick to the repairs and the service agreements and the pumping. He was like, if you're going to do an install, he goes, you need to be exactly what you said. He's like, you need to be at 50 to 60% margin on an install. And I told him, man, it's just not going to happen, but maybe once or twice a year. And he's like, well, maybe that's all you need. If it's a big enough commercial job, go after the big commercial jobs. That was just him talking out loud, but he was not a fan of me sticking with the installations in this area at the time. But when you market it differently and approach it differently with all of the strategies that you're talking about doing, I think it's going to be a much better result now.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of just identifying where they are at, where they're located. And if you and your team can identify that internally, that this is not going to be in the price sensitive market, you owe it to yourself to give them the good, better, best.
Yeah.
And see if that fixes the problem.
Right.
I think if you committed to it for maybe a month, you would have your answer and start to see a trend.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll also say this too. I do know I had an engineer. He specifically told me 2 weeks ago. He said, man, he goes, you need to start stretching out to the College Station area. That's Brazos County here. It's about an hour and a half from my location where I'm at now in Cypress. He says there's less competition, and he knows for a fact one of the installers from this area works over there specifically because you can get $3,000 to $4,000 more per job for the same exact install. And it's just an hour and a half up the road versus fighting with all these idiots over here underneath my nose for scraps.
Yeah.
So that's also another option on the table as well. if we don't get the results that we're looking for, with the good, better, and best in this area, it might just make more sense to drive a little further out where there's less installers and a much more meat on the bone. And the customers over there, according to him, there's only a handful of installers in that area. They're not well liked. They have the attitude of, we're the only 5 guys in this area. This is our price, take it or leave it. And they just, real cocky, type guys, because they don't have much competition.
Yeah, I mean, if you qualify them very well up front, if you qualify them really well up front, that they can afford your services, they've already got the design, and they're willing to move forward if the proposal meets all their conditions of satisfaction, including price. If they can answer all those questions on the initial call before you drive out an hour and a half, at least then you got someone that's real.
Right.
And you could do the follow-up over the phone and close it over the phone for a deposit.
Okay.
If it's a higher income prospect and they have basic computer skills, as long as you're out there, you could say, look, a lot of our clients like to handle the review call over the phone or on Zoom. Would you be okay with that after I put these options together for you, that we set up a phone call and we go over it together, or I could meet you on Zoom? Would that work?
Yeah, I like that.
So you could either do it on the phone, you get them on the phone. Hey, yep. Are you ready? Okay, awesome. I'm going to email this right now that you're on the phone and your husband's there too, correct? Okay, super. I'm going to send it. Got it. You got it in your inbox? Okay, let's pull it up together. Here's our good. Here's our better. Here's our best. Now, most of our clients go with the better option, and the reason being is because, it reduces risk, and, you're fully covered with this, with inspections, and everything is guaranteed. It's, basically risk-free. You go through it, you handle any objections, and then if they're good to go, which, based on what I've told you, which option do you feel would work best for you? The better. Okay, super. So, to get you on the schedule, all we need to do is secure a 30% deposit or 50% deposit. Something meaningful, which could be a few grand.
Right.
Okay, 30%. And then that locks you in the schedule and you get all these benefits and the guarantee. Shall we go ahead and get the ball rolling? Yep. Okay, super. I'm going to send you a link right now. Hold on. You got it? Okay, go ahead and take care of that, and I'm going to confirm it on my end. Just right. And so they fill out the credit card. They do the DocuSign right there with you on the phone. Perfect. You're all set. Well, the next step is I'm going to get this over to our scheduling department. We're going to lock you in. You can handle it from there. But I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
Do you think that you or your team could adopt that kind of a process maybe?
Yeah. That's how you sold me. So
we were on a Zoom call, right? Was it Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoom is ideal if you can see them face to face. That breaks down a lot of walls.
Right.
But phone is really good too. Some people just like the phone, and the phone is nice just because it does have that intimate feel still of I don't know how to put it, the silence or the quiet of it.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Well, so you got options, my friend.
Man, thank you so much, Scott. This was amazing, man. I really appreciate it.
You're doing all the right steps. You'll get it to where you want it. You know how it is as entrepreneurs. It's a never-ending uphill battle. It never gets any easier.
Heck no.
Hey there, excavation pros. If you enjoyed today's podcast, make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and channel. Leave us your feedback and let us know how we did. And hey, If you're interested in taking your excavation or septic business to the next level online, make sure you visit excavationmarketingpros.com today and take advantage of our free resources and mastermind group for excavation and septic industry professionals.